given up hope. My speaker called me, sent me a message in the morning. The message was, my uncle in Russia has expired. And my father, who's very close to him, I'm holding him. For once today, I did not feel like telling her that please do the show. Normally, I would have pushed her, but today, I just did not feel like. What I did was, I called up Parul, and Parul said, I could have definitely done this program, but, and I said, okay, but I have exams tomorrow. So I just laughed and said, never mind. And then I called up Shahina, but she was going to Alibag. So I said, wow. And then I called up Aditi. And I said, Aditi, you have to talk for me today. And because I don't have a speaker, and you will speak about Emma, that's her dog, who is not keeping well. And she says, done, I don't need to prepare anything for that. And I said, I really thank you for it. We had a chat in the afternoon where Rashmi tells me, I might not even come tomorrow. And at that point, I couldn't stop myself. And I said, well, that's a choice you take, but you're studying. And to be really honest, you can be with your father and you can also be for yourself, because that's going to keep you in a good place. And then I left it at that, because I really did not feel like pressurizing her, because she cannot be reaching to a radio station every time to be pushed and reached over there. She has to take that choice by herself. Evening, I was coming over here, just sitting down to on my computer when I see her message. And to be really honest, I for a minute said, okay, I will take it after the show. But something told me just talk to her. So just putting on the show, she says, what do you think? Should I talk? I said, of course, talk. But you already have a speaker. I said, yes, so what? And anyway, you're not going to speak for more than 10 minutes. She said, no. I said, then talk. What's the problem? Are you sure, Manika? I'm sure. And I loved the first sentence she said when she came online. I have a pattern to break. And we spoke about patterns and the ghost telling me that it's a patterns, and then addictions. We have addictive patterns. These are our addictive patterns, guys. And thank you so much, Rashmi, for trusting. Thank you so much for being there, because this consistency will take you very far in life. Thank you so much. Over to you, Rashmi.
Thank you so much, Anu. Thank you so much for believing in me. And really, when I wanted to break this pattern today, this pattern occurred with me, and I spoke about it in the last talk also. In 1987, when I didn't reach Doordarshan because of such a tragedy in the morning, what happened in the home. Today, it's my parents again who told me, no, you go ahead. I said, yes, I think I should go ahead. And I called up Anu without thinking, without having a second thought. Thank you so much, Anu, for believing and trusting me. I am not prepared at all, because I had thought I'll prepare something, but this will be all extempore. So this comes from, I should thank Bhupenderji. This comes from the talk which I heard last time when you were talking about vitamin B12 and vitamin D. So that is the time when I thought that I should tell you something which I also know that I've been using. These are microgreens, which are very easy to make, very easy to grow at home. And they are a very rich source of vitamin B12, as well as vitamin D and other vitamins also, and sources of other minerals also. So as Hippocrates, the father of medicine, has said, let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. That means let your food be your medicine, and let your medicine be your food. So with this, I start with this. And before that, I'll show a small crop, though it's not yet come up. This is the crop of the microgreens, which I had prepared for the talk today. And it has not come up so nicely. It's still in the processing stage. And these are some harvested microgreens. Can you see them?
Yes, we can. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
These are microgreens. And so they are really beautiful, and as well as very, very easy to grow, as well as they are very easy to eat. So this started with me when I was doing a project with the DAV Vasant Vihar, and they asked me to bring up some recipes for them, because children would not eat microgreens as such. Microgreens, okay, I'll start with first, what are microgreens? Microgreens, as the name suggests, as micro. Micro means small. Greens means we always talk about leafy vegetables, which are called greens. So this is the seedling version of the plant, of the green plant. These are known as microgreens. So, and in other words, we can say the plants which are harvested in the cotyledon stage. When two can you see this? There are two leaflets which have come out.
Yes.
That is the cotyledon. So what happens is, see, microgreens are, we've all had sprouts, and we've been eating them since a long time. This is the next stage of these sprouts, which is more nutritious because it has more minerals and it has more chlorophyll added to it. Sprouts are usually, they get sick because some microorganisms can grow and they can rot easily. But microgreens, they are grown in soil, so they don't rot so easily, and they grow very fast, and they grow take approximately 7 to 10 days. They can be grown indoors. They do not require much space, just a small tray, a small, and this is again best out of waste. You can use a food grade tray, which is I mean, whenever food you get outside food, so you can use that tray, reuse that tray again. And growing microgreens is very less time consuming. So as I said, it just takes 7 to 8 days, or maximum if we grow sunflower or some other ones, they'll take around 10 to 14 days maximum. And the space utilization, no doubt. Then they have the same benefits as sprout with added chlorophyll. They do not carry illnesses. And how to consume them? Usually microgreens have to be eaten raw. See, if I pick up a microgreen like this, it has to be eaten raw. It's very tasty. It will have the same taste as that of the original seed. Right now I have mustard microgreens, so they taste like mustard. And if I take flax, you'll actually find that oily taste in the flax microgreens. So they add food to flavor, and you can add, see what happens usually, people eat them with salads or sandwiches. They use as garnish on food or soups. So they can be used in smoothies also. So what happened when I was doing this project with the school, we devised ways where we could use kid friendly recipes. So one of those recipes was we used watermelon, fresh watermelon, and used a lot of amount of water of microgreen, and we blended it together and added a bit of salt to taste. So we served it to around 200 children, and they found it so it was so tasty that they wanted to have more. And so most of them had gone back, and then the school contacted me again for recipes, more recipes. So like this, I started devising small recipes, so suiting to children's needs. And when Bhupinder was speaking that day, so I thought, okay, this is one way we can actually get to people. And I asked Anu that, may I speak on this? And see, basically what are microgreens are mini nutritional bombs. They are power packed with nutrition. They have to be just eaten from 1 inch of the stem and the leaf. So they contain, what kind of minerals would they contain? They contain folate, calcium, iron, magnesium, zinc, and some which come from certain seeds which are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. So the flax is one of them, and flax contains omega-3 fatty acids. There have been researches where these mini nutritional bombs have been used by the John Hopkins University in Baltimore for for improvement of autism. And so what happens is, uh, just give me a second. I'm unprepared today. So vitamin B12 and vitamin D, as we were talking about, all the microgreens are very rich source of vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 comes from a source of, usually comes in the higher food chain, where the predators contain, if we are a non-veg eating person, the predator who has eaten another lower animal or a herbivorous animal, they contain a certain amount of bacteria which increases their vitamin B12. So what happens in these microgreens, they grow at a very fast rate. So this occurs with the bacterial activity. And certainly certain microgreens like sunflower, alfalfa and fenugreek, they are very, very rich source of vitamin D as well. So vitamin D has a different what do you call that? Uh, a, a different type of vitamin D is called vitamin D2. That is present in plants. So any sunflower microgreens, they are they are uh, sorry, uh, and any sunflower like sunflower, fenugreek, and third one was made alfalfa. They are a very rich source of microgreens. Vitamin D, and vitamin B12 is a very rich source of vitamin B12. As I told you, is comes in this source in all microgreens. So how do we use them? So these microgreens are not grown in a conventional soil. So they are grown with vermicompost and coconut peat. So this has a minimum source of any infection to the plant. So when we grow that, they grow in 8 to 10 days. This crop is just for 3 days. So the person, and then what has to be taken care of is the percentage of water in the soil. It has to be very apt, and you can just place it in a dark for 2-3 days, and then put it in the sun. We can use it in a very, very effective way. Some seeds are very difficult to grow. Some seeds are easy to grow. Some which are easy to grow, we can just sow them directly. They are mustards, basils, dill, and some mucilaginous seeds which have a mucus layer around it. And they also require a very less quantity of water. And other plants which are very, very, they have a tough coat like sunflower, that needs to be pre-soaked, or radish needs to be pre-soaked for a while, for a 1 or 2 days, and that has to be done in a very effective way so that no infection comes in and we don't eat that infection. These microgreens are 40% more nutritious than the normal green leafy counterparts. The normal green leafy counterparts we buy from the market, when the time they come to us, they have lost more nutritional value. So microgreens can be grown at home, and just one care has to be taken, that they have to be consumed within 4 to 5 hours of harvesting them. And then you can keep 2 or 3 trays together, use one, then they use the other one the next day, and the other one next day, and then you can grow them in a series like this. This is all about microgreens. And Anu, can I just share this microgreen photograph if possible?
Please.
Thank you. Just 1 second. Anu, I would need the screen sharing.
Yes, done.
Thank you. These are my older microgreens. This is how they grow. Can you see them?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
These are my older microgreens, and this is one of my mother's friends, who had written this, that my methi, palak, and sarson have grown very well. I'm going to be my entry in the flower show. So this is how she learned about microgreens, and she was using them.
Wonderful. Should create a class for everyone, and everybody should be sitting down and doing it whenever.
Yeah, that would be very nice, because we have to learn to have the exact amount of water, and how to use them in different recipes. Many recipes, because these are to be eaten raw. So many recipes can be devised and tailored according to children's need.
Wonderful. Thank you
so
so much. I really appreciate your consistency. And can we all for a minute close our eyes and send lot and lot of love to her uncle? We don't know what he looked like, but he was in a lot of pain. And if we can all just pray for him for a minute. Keep surrounding his family with lot of love. Surrounding Rashmi and her father and her family. And this is for Rashmi to know that she has a family here.
Thank you so much.
Slowly come back into the room, bringing yourself back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, you want to say something?
I would take your leave, and it was an effort. Thank you so much for.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.